Now, this story is coming out of East St. Louis, and it's another tragedy. Where 5 children were killed in an overnight fire. Fire broke out at an apartment building at 29th and State Street before 3 a.m. Friday. Fire officials told News 4 the cause of the fire is under investigation. 2 children found inside of a bedroom were pronounced dead. 3 children who were found on the floor in the kitchen area were pronounced dead after being taken out of the building. The children are between 2 and 9 years old. Relatives identified the children as 9-year-old Deontay, 8-year-old twins Nevaeh and Heaven, 4-year-old Jabari, and 2-year-old Loyal. They are blameless in this. They're just kids. It's tough, East St. Louis Assistant Fire Chief George McClellan said. McClellan said the mother of the children left the home to go get another adult. He said the mother tried to go back into the house several times to rescue the children. An hours-long vigil was held Friday night to remember the children. Close to 100 people surround the home where the family lived, with the porch covered in balloons, stuffed animals, and flowers for the children. The main message of the night was for people who were bashing the child's mother, probably a typo. Sabrina, about not being home when the fire started. She took care of her kids. She loved her kids. When she didn't have anything and she was homeless, she took care of those kids, said the children's aunt. You know what? I'm going to just start the breakdown right here before I get up too upset and go on another rant. The mother of the children left the home to go get another adult. You left babies at home, babies, to go get another adult. Now, I can almost promise you who that adult was she was going to get. We ain't going to get into it. We going to just let it go. Those who follow me know, like I said, everyone keeps screaming. It's been this whole movement for the last 3 years. Protect Black women. Who protecting their children? Why does she think she's the only one who needs protection out of all of this? When the damage she is doing to her children, to the community, destroying the community. 5 children are no longer here because you wanted to leave them to go pick up another adult from work. You could have Ubered. Hell, if it was that important, you could have gave them your car and just said, hey, come pick my car up, take it to work, drop it back off when you get off work. Then you can spend the night here, whatever that was getting ready to happen. But to leave 5 children at home, now, the fire broke out in an apartment on 29th and State before 3 a.m. So that's, we're going to say anywhere roughly between 1 to 3 in the morning. Because see, where my mind is going is, she probably killed those children. She probably killed those children. But it'll be quiet. And as you saw, I read that part already. Everybody makes a mistake. She was a great mother. See, that's always what we hear. She was a great mother. According to who? Because of what? And it's like I told you in that Tupac line that I despise so much. Even though you was a crack fiend, mama, you always was a Black queen. She has always been excused for her behavior. Always been. No matter what she does, we'll always look at her. We've been trained to always look at her and forgive her. It's why I say she's the closest thing to Jesus and God you can find. That's the way they treat her at this point. She is above critique at this point. And it's why the coach ain't going to move no further. Because she is above critique at this point. A culture can rise no higher than the moral position of its women. And again, we know what the moral position of our women are, which is why our culture is in the shitter at this point. But again, right before 3 a.m., who are you going to get from work at 3 a.m. that's that important? Now, let's just say it was a cousin and it wasn't a dude. Because if it was a dude she was going to get, we understand what that is already. Kids sleep. Let me go pick. And I don't even think she was going to pick somebody up from work at that time of the morning either. But I'm going to let that be. Because for me, I think she was just going to pick up whoever she was going to pick up. It's 2 a.m. in the morning. Boom. Kids sleep. We can get it in. And, hey, probably going to pick him up from his house, from his wife's house, or his other girl or baby mother house. But you get that situation already, 2 in the morning. Let me go pick her up. Let me go pick him up. Bring him back. We're going to get it in. And then once the children get up, I drop him back off. I pick them up or take them with us, drop him back off. We keep it moving. That's cool, though. But see how fishy I said that look? I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and say she was. In my head, my heart, my gut feeling, she burnt them kids in that house. That's my gut feeling. I just find it too odd. 3 in the morning, house go up in flames and you ain't there. Unless some little kids just got up and you wasn't there and they decided they was going to cook. Which is a possibility, but it's even more of a reason for why she couldn't have been a great mother. And this wasn't no mistake. Well, let's go. She took care of her kids. She can take care of her kids. She took care of her kids. She would have died in the house with them. She would have been there with them. You don't leave an 8 and a 9-year-old, 4-year-olds and 2-year-olds at home alone. But see, it's all my other content. What do I tell you guys? Growing up, she expects her other children to be the babysitter of the other children while she goes out and play. And people keep thinking I'm way off base when I say this stuff. Dog, what's going on in the culture? I got my finger on it. Damn it, I lived through it. Shit, I'm the product of this shit. So can't nobody tell it better than I can tell it. But this is kind of why I say you have these dynamics and these weird dynamics where it's the husband, son, and then the mother so-called goddess. And how this all just gets oh so weird half the time. Why he grows up to be so effed up, why the daughter grows up with daddy issues, why the son grows up with mommy, daddy, and all type of other issues. And who do they go to at the end? They all go and cradle up in mama's bosom. And she says, it's okay, babies. They just don't understand you like I do. I told you, Black children suffer from Stockholm syndrome, man. Y'all don't have to believe me, but the mental and the verbal abuse that these children go through on a day-by-day basis. See, we keep saying who's going to protect these Black women. Who the fuck is advocating for these Black children coming out of her? Who advocating for them? Nobody. Nobody advocates for them. All we get is they come from a tough background. You got to understand, no, damn it. When you going to hold your sister accountable for her actions? Well, don't blame her. Blame systematic racism because it's what the white man did. Okay, so nobody needs to be held accountable for shit they do then. That's basically where we at this point. Nobody needs to be held accountable for anything that they do. Just blame systematic racism. That's the fault of what's going on in the world. That's the problem. So I'm gonna keep telling you this again. Is it nature versus nurture? Because if it's nature, then everybody will be behaving this way. And since everybody don't behave this way, we know it ain't nature. But we can't say it's nurture, because if we say it's nurture, then we have to then have the conversation, well, who nurtured these bastards? See, the real problem is you have to ask yourself, who created Sabrina? And that's why I keep telling y'all, you can't fix this. This is not going to stop. It cannot change now. We too far removed. We 60 years removed from the prototype of this joint now, man. The prototype has created all of this at this point. It's a wrap. The only way to even begin to get to the bottom of all of this, it would be to destroy you would have to restart civilization all over again. You would have to take roughly 50 to 100,000 of the purest people you wanted off Earth, nuke this joint, restart civilization over again, and do it that way. If you don't do it that way, I'm sorry, guys. But this utopia you looking for, this we shall overcome and the Black national anthem, ain't gonna happen, man. It ain't gonna happen. And it ain't gonna happen because you are not willing to hold one person accountable for their actions. And until you men get a set of balls on you and are able to get up and hold her accountable for her role in this, can't change. We've been held accountable since the beginning of time. Hell, we was held accountable in slavery when it was, why didn't you fight harder to make sure they didn't beat on us? Since then, we've been emasculated in front of Black women. Black women have not respected Black men in this country since then. And then it got to what? It got to the 60s, man. And what did she say? I'll even go with the theory before I get back into this. That cool, Black men and Black women thought they was doing the right thing for their children at that point by Black men leaving the house. But guess what happened after that? Absolute power corrupts absolutely. That Black woman got power and is not willing to give it back. Now, of course, with her power, nobody wants to talk about 2021 now, the last 51 years of damage that's been done. 51 years of damage. Do you realize the social engineering that has been done in the last 51 years? Do you realize what would have to be done to overturn 51 years of work? You niggas crazy if y'all think we're going to be able to flip this over and change it. The best idea I can give a lot of y'all now, you Black men who want to help and change the community, focus on saving them children, dog. That's what my focus is now, man. 25 and under. Anybody over 25, the indoctrination I've come to understand and realize it runs too deep. You can't save them. They've been taking too many blue pills already. They ain't interested. They see the world in which the way they want to see the world now. You can give them all the information you want to. They ain't going to see it that way. You can show them everything under the sun and say, hey, yo, look, you know, this a lie, this a lie, this a lie, this happened, that happened. You know what they're going to come back to you and tell you? I know, but man, it's what other way we got? Right, okay, go ahead, man. I can't save you. However this ends for you, man, Godspeed, dog. I'm out. But let's go back to this. She took care of her kids. She loved, listen to what the aunt is saying. She took care of her kids. She loved her kids. When she didn't have anything and she was homeless, she took care of those kids, said the child's aunt. If that ain't the Dear Mama song in a nutshell, I don't know what is. These children are dead. And listen to what she's telling you. She took care of her kids. She loved her kids. When she didn't have anything and she was homeless, she took care of her kids. How the fuck can you take care of kids and you homeless? How could you say you love those kids and you was homeless? If anything at that point, you're looking to put those children in the best situation possible, not be out on the streets. not homies. That ain't love. I'm sorry, that ain't love. Just because you saying I'm keeping this together, that don't mean that's love. At that point, you calling all family members you can. Since they say it was a lot of family members living in that building, you call all the family members you can and start one by one saying, hey, can you take care of this one? Can I send this one to you? Hey, yo, can I send this one to you? And hey, man, we got the Great Black Church. What was they at in all of this to help out? Why couldn't you go to them? The great nurses board, the ushers, the deacon boards, when are they going to say, hey, yo, I know you're struggling taking care of that kid. Why don't you let that kid come live with us? We'll take care of him for a little while. And it's why I was so against adoption when I was younger, saying, no, I wouldn't adopt a kid. But I'm at a stage now where I'm really getting ready to start reaching and finding other Black men who are on the wavelength I'm on to start going to mentor and even adopt some of these young boys. Because they can be saved, man. The children can be saved. The children, hey, they are the future, as Whitney would say in that song. But these adults, you're wasting your time with them, man. All they want to do is get on here and bicker and fuss and fight. They just want to say it's not my fault. No, it's your fault. And see, that's when I really knew it was over. When people don't want to be held accountable for their actions, when every time you need to have a conversation with somebody and they come back to you and they say, well, I don't want to talk about that no more. Conversation, no. It's cool, man. Cool. You stay over there. I'm going to stay over here. Because if we ain't looking to really have dialogue and understand each other's point of view, I got no need for you. I got no room for you. I don't have the space for your energy then. Because at this point, I'm looking to learn why you think the way you think, and I'm trying to share with you why I think the way I think. Therefore, we can come together and have a full understanding of what point of view we coming from. If you can't explain to me why you think the way you think, what we talking for? Everybody has made this mistake once in their life. No, not this mistake. And if you have, Auntie, again, like I told you, we have to ask who raised Sabrina. And now we know who raised Sabrina. See, it's Black matriarchy, man. I said I wasn't going to ever shine a light on this. I kept saying for the last 6 months, hey, stay away from that. Stay away from that. Go over to the left. You can do other things. But maybe it's just my calling to shine a light on this shit. And just show you time in and time in again why we here. Maybe I should just fill up a YouTube channel with thousands and thousands and thousands of videos of how this plays out and what that child turns into, what that looks like. So maybe then when I give you that much evidence, even then with that much evidence, I already know. You're still going to look at me and say, it's not my fault. It's my mama's fault. And like I said, I could agree. I don't agree, but I could go with somebody who has the premise. We thought we was doing it all for the right thing, but we're 51 years later now. You know what it is now. You still doing it. And you still co-signing the behavior. You got Maxine Waters co-signing Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B. So if they still co-signing the behavior, then now I have to look back and say retroactively, were we really together when we entered into that agreement that the man will leave the house? Or were men duped by their own mother goddess, Black queen, into thinking we was together? Because you know my stance. Like I said, Black men are still sitting in the civil rights movement with Black women holding hands. That's where they still stuck at. And I keep trying to tell these men, bruh, that chick been gone for 60 years, man. She got a 60-year head start on you. And you wondering why she's at where she's at politically and why she gets what she gets and why you haven't gotten what you got. But you'll have Black women, they'll come to Black men and say, nah, we 400 years behind the white man. Nah, fuck that, sis. Fuck that and fuck you. You with the white woman. You part of the movement already. It's why I tell you they are co-conspirators in our demise. They have always been co-conspirators in the black man's demise. And I'm going to tell you this, case in point again. Something go left. All of these black women say what? Cops come, white man, white cop. All they do is destroy our black men. They beat them up. They do all this weird stuff to them. Cool, fine. White man got his foot on our black man neck. That's why he can't leave the family. So why is it you always in child support court trying to do a man who trying to do right by you and his kid dirty? When he's saying, hey, if you can't take care of the child financially, why don't you get a child to me? I can't. No. Nobody can raise him better than me. Okay. So you've raised him. Now you've raised the little gremlin. Yes, Gizmo, you've raised the gremlin. But if you give them to the father, then guess what? Now she can't ask for child support. How does she supplement her income now? It's why you see all of these black women on Instagram taking all of these poses. These are thirst pictures over and over and over and over and over again. You go on some of these chicks' phone. Like I said, I didn't even realize how crazy this was. My daughter was maybe like 18, and she opened her phone up. She had like 3,000 pictures in there, all the selfies. And all she stated was, yeah, Pops, I use a few of these, though. They perfect shots. And then I post them. Who in the hell is taking all of these shots to get a perfect shot, put it out there? Thirst trapping for men. But see, as I said before, you get a lot of these older women doing what now? They singing Boys to Men. They know, although we've come to the end of the road, they see it now. Keep telling you, breasts are starting to sag, but not as perky as it used to be. It's not sitting up the right way no more. So what are they doing now? Now they on Kevin Samuels' channel saying what? Help me find a man. Help fix me. How can I get married real quick? I need to get married. There's pressure, and it's pressure because she knows what? Who she was 15 years ago is right behind her. The girl with no moral standards is right behind her. The girl who's willing to sleep with someone's husband is right behind her. The girl who's willing to break up somebody's happy home is right behind her. So now she understands I'm losing my spot. So either I'm getting off the market or I'm getting ready to be out the game, period. And I ain't gonna have no stand-in with nobody. Because when a man get a chance to sleep with a 25-year-old firm, thick girl with no emotional baggage, or choose a 40-year-old girl with emotional baggage and she ain't firm no more, we know where he going. We already know where he going. But let's get back to this. Nobody expected this to happen. She didn't expect this to happen. There ain't a time, even now, with my daughter being my youngest, being 13. I'm just comfortable now with her being home, basically alone. And that's even with my wife being 10 minutes away, working 5 to 10 minutes away from home in our office. That's me working 15 minutes away from home now. Or if she get a call, we can rush and get back here. But I still check in throughout the day. Everything cool? Yeah, we still got rules here. Hey, you can cook while one of us here. Don't turn the stove on while we gone. If you're a parent, you move somebody who loves somebody, you always thinking of everything that can happen. So you try and fail safe everything that can happen to make sure that doesn't happen. If you truly love somebody. But of course, again, what is love? What is love? Nobody expected this to happen. She didn't expect this to happen. Like I said, my gut feeling, she probably burnt that place and killed her children because she was tired of dealing with it. But like I said, if so, they said we'll get to that part then. If she didn't, still how negligent is that to go pick up, they don't even want to say who it was because, like I said, for them not to say she was going to pick up another family member, for them to just say she was going to pick up a friend from work, That leads me to believe, yo, I'm getting ready to go pick up a fuck buddy or a boyfriend. But they understand how that looks if they say that. So you can't say that. Because now it's looked as your kid's dead just so you could go have sex and have some fun. And the next question would also be, how many of these children are even by the same father? It happens so we don't want everybody on Facebook and to get on social media and slander her name and try and throw her under the bus. This is an honest mistake. No, this ain't an honest mistake. You don't leave children that age home alone. Wherever she was going to pick up from work, that's an adult. You just gonna have to figure it out. You don't got to wait home. Yo, all right. At worst, you got to go pick them up. Then you got to pack all your children up and take them. And see, the sad thing is, they say, we'll get to that story too. I won't even, we'll continue to break that down. This is an honest mistake. This is a tragedy. A tragedy because she shouldn't have been the parent of them to begin with. That's the real tragedy. The tragedy is 5 children are dead because somebody was reckless and negligent. She wasn't planning on coming back and seeing the house on fire, says Pastor Doug Hollins, a family friend. Now, even the pastor. So see, the church is involved. But again, like I told you, the church will keep coming to you and they'll tell you what? We're here to save the community. We're here to do this right in the community. So that's cool. You're here to help the community. At what point did you reach out to help this woman? Because if you was here to help the community, Pastor Doug Hollins, again, like I said, there will be people reaching out inside of that church saying, hey, Sister Sabrina, why don't you let me take care of that child for the next few years till you get yourself together? Hey, why don't you get back in school? Let us figure out a living situation for these children or a babysitting situation for these children so that you don't have to struggle as much. We can get you on your feet. That's when you say, when the church says, yo, I'm here to help. But of course the church is not here to help. It's like I told you with your boy, the serial fundraiser, Griff Deshaun King. They are here in the name of thievery and just using the Lord and Jesus to do it. They can care less about these kids. Now, like I said, they'll preach and tell Sabrina, yo, you need a child of God to be your husband. What does that look like? A woman being raised in the church, or family friend, Pastor Doug Hollins, a pastor, friend of the family. What did that advice do for? It's hard when you have kids and family members and you can only imagine what this mother and father are going through right now. It's a tough day. I'm waiting for the father to say something, to kind of hear his view on this. It's a tough day, said East St. Louis Jason Blackman. We want people to take fire seriously. Smoke alarms, turn off electronics at night, don't burn candles. People love burning candles all night long, man. People take a lot of that stuff for granted. They do. And see, people maneuver as if these things won't happen. They always maneuver as if these things won't happen. Like I said, I'm a pessimist. I move as, yo, the worst could happen. So let's prepare for the worst could happen and let's make sure the worst doesn't happen. If it don't happen, fine, no harm, no foul. But if you don't prepare for the worst to happen and it happens, now we come back home and 5 children dead. The grandfather of the children also lives in the building and no one else in the building were hurt in the fire. No one else. So multiple families live in the building at the time the fire broke out. All the children are from the same family. You have to understand, grandfather is there. Why didn't you pack those children up and take them downstairs to him? You want me to tell you why? Because you know what granddaddy was going to say? Or you could ask granddaddy to come upstairs and sit with the children until you got back. But that's why I said she probably was going to pick up a man. And at that point, you know what granddaddy going to say? Girl, you already got 5 kids. You already struggling. Last thing you need to be thinking about is opening your legs up again and getting pregnant. I ain't going to get pregnant. You got 5 kids already. Obviously, you're very fertile. So again, how much can I say I love this child and these children, and I wouldn't even pick up the phone to call my grandfather who lives in the building to come upstairs. Hey, yo, grandpops. Why wouldn't you even call him at 6, 7 o'clock at night? Hey, grandpops, I'm going to need you, granddaddy, I'm going to need you to come upstairs just for a little while while I go pick up such and such from work. So just maybe like 30, 40 minutes, or I'll bring them downstairs to you, whichever one works. Why can you do that? Because she understood he wouldn't understand already. She already knew he wouldn't understand. And she knew the conversation she was going to probably have to have. Who you going to get that time of the morning? What are you doing out that time of the morning? And it's terrible, like I said, because what? They just told you nobody else was hurt in the fire but the people in her apartment. Multiple families lived in the building at the time the fire broke out. You couldn't reach out to no neighbor and say, hey, yo, could you just come over and watch my children just for a little while I go pick whoever this is up, bring them back. I got to go pick somebody up from work. They don't have no way. I'm the only way they got. Nobody would have helped you. Exactly, man. Y'all can keep making excuses for this all you want to. I'm going to just start calling this what it is, pointing out the facts. We ain't got to sensationalize nothing. No more. I ain't going to do it no more. I'm going to just point out the facts and I'm going to put it right in your face. I'm going to sit your Brussels sprouts. I'm going to sit your baked chicken, and I'm going to sit your brown rice and your cup of water right in front of your face. Bon appetit. Other people who live in the building were not hurt. The building is now condemned. A woman who used to live in the building said it had no working smoke detectors when she lived there. So again, you see what we're dealing with. You know you don't have even working smoke detectors. Not that an 8-year-old or a 9-year-old is going to probably be able to get all those children out if a fire broke out anyway. Their first thing when they see fire is going to be fear. They're going to panic. They're going to freeze. It's rare that a 9-year-old would even have the thought capacity to say, hey, yo, let me grab everybody. Let's get out. Celebrating that we just found out the funeral cost of the 5 kids who died in the house fire in East St. Louis has been paid for. The East St. Louis School District released the following statement about the fire. Today, the East St. Louis School District is grieving the loss of 3 students and their younger siblings. We send our sincere condolences to the family as they cope with this tragedy. We ask for respect and privacy as the family and our staff work through this significant loss. Our crisis team was on the scene following an event and is partnering with the Red Cross and Community Lifeline to provide ongoing support services. Counseling services will also be provided for classmates and staff. Oh, 5 kids are dead that didn't have to be dead because of the Mother Goddess's negligence. It's your boy, the Hood Nerd, man. I'm out.